5, 4. Wait. 3, 2, 1. So.
Did you say we?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was so weird.
I bet they thought Bruce Lee came back to life.
No, babe. We sounded like half Italian or something.
First the donkeys. Now.
That was weird.
Good morning,
Good
guys.
morning. We hope you're enjoying your coffee this morning.
It is Monday?
Yes, Monday for us.
Monday
Tuesday
for
you
us.
guys.
Tuesday for you guys.
Yes.
We are here in our living room. This is not a movie set. We are not at Universal Studios. This is our living room.
Why do you say that? They already know that.
I don't know. Somebody
what?
might say something.
Nobody's going to say nothing. They know we're in our home. They know we don't have a fake set. They already know us.
You know, it'd be funny
us.
if we said that and all of a sudden this thing came down and it was just the warehouse.
I know. That would be
hilarious.
Funny. Yeah, but it's not. This is our home.
So,
our casita.
First of all, I want to thank Pastor Mauro and Sister Rosa.
That's why you said we. Because you have Italian probably in your mind. That's probably why.
Pastor Mauro and Rosa are the pastors here in Stockton at our Grace International Church.
Well, I have to say something before you mention.
Say it.
Because we decided last month, we said that every month we were gonna make it a point for us to meet monthly with them every month. We felt that it was so important for us to get together, even if it meant for us to just quickly go grab a bite to eat, have dinner, have lunch, whatever it be, have breakfast, whatever it be, that monthly we were going to make it an every month tradition for us to just sit down and just come together. It's so important for us. We need that. And this is something that we said we were going to do, and we have been doing it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We need it. We need not just we need the fellowship. We just and plus we just love being with them.
Yeah, guys, as you know, we're part of Grace International. Last week we were with Rick.
Yeah.
Today we met with Mauro and Rosa. They're the church here, and the furthest church from us I thought was Rick, but it's actually the one in Reading.
Yeah.
Dennis and his wife, and we really got to make her. We've never been that way, so it'd be a nice drive. We've got to figure out maybe after the holidays we'll go visit them. But we take this covering of Grace International, this fellowship, very serious, and it's only going to be as good as we make it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why, we have to stay closely tied to the church here in Stockton.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, we always have a great time. Talk about ministry, talk about family, talk about our kids.
Talk about life, yeah.
Yeah. And it's
we
really
encourage
good.
One another.
And it's really good, guys, because you guys know sometimes people don't understand unless they're in your shoes. And the fact that they're here, pastoring here in Stockton, some similar triumphs and similar, heartbreaks, and things like that. And it's good to be able to bounce off.
Yeah, off one another.
And besides that, they're good people, good friends.
Yeah, very good friends. I really enjoy spending time with with Sister Rosa. I'm so glad. I remember when I met her, I had been telling you
at the regional. No.
Yeah, it was at the regional.
Yeah.
I remember I had just been telling you, I wish I had a pastor's wife, that I can get close to, and I can find a pastor's wife for me to really, and it's like the Lord had answered my prayer, and you were like, remember you said, wow, Lord, wow, baby, wow, Lord, wow, baby, the Lord answered your prayer, and I was just really, really blessed that the Lord placed her in my life. So I'm really, really grateful. So yeah.
and she had a beanie that the little top thing snaps off. I was amazed by that because she can put a different color on the same.
You were tripping out on her beanie. She's so funny with her little beanie.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but that's why you said we because we had Italian. We had Italian today.
yeah.
So,
We had some pasta,
yeah.
which now I'm all bloated.
Oh God, stop it. Anyhow, guys.
So,
But besides that, I think today I did a lot of kind of work around the house today. A lot of work around the house today, and then you
finished.
you finished Eli's.
I finished Eli's book.
Yeah.
So tomorrow he's gonna sit with me. Or today for you guys, we're gonna design the back cover on the spot and bam, upload it to Amazon and the Ingram Spark. Bam, that way we can get it in Barnes and Nobles, Target.com, Amazon, everything else.
Perfect. And then we already have Lydia's. We already have the pictures uploaded. We already have everything done,
Yeah.
and then we're just gonna
I still
pretty
gotta
much
fine comb her.
hers, and then pretty much get hers
But
going.
I mean,
already.
I said December.
Yeah.
So
That's
far,
it.
so far so good. We're on schedule.
Yeah.
I did push the movie back a little bit because I was trying to concentrate on doing the movie script and these books. And I'm like, this ain't working.
Yeah. It's hard.
And I know the movie's important. You know, the movie is something that that we want to do, that I want to do. And the Lord was like, well, you know what? I need to do these books. You know, so I'm like, all right, Lord, you take precedence. You know, I would do these because these stories have to get out because it's all for the glory of God.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, instead of arguing and wrestling with trying to do it all, I just put the movie aside and I just concentrated one by one on these books. And sure enough, bam, it's coming together, and I'm excited. So yeah. Yeah, and then I ordered 10 more comic books from Rick.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we sold out. So, guys, Sanctified Saint. Christian superhero.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Can't wait
about
to
that.
see the next episode.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so we got a lot going on, guys. We have our little Christmas, program where the choir is going to be singing on the 19th of December, and I'm really, really excited about that. It's something special that we do.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping to do. My throat's dry. I think the smell of the smell of the pine sol.
Yeah.
And stuff on the floor. Guys, the holidays are such a special time for us to spend with our family and everything. So, the holidays are really, really special. So, looking forward to them, guys.
You have water?
My Gatorade. Yeah. So, go ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah, I was ready. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Yes. So, I was talking to Sharon a few minutes before we go, and I hit record because I said, hey, you guys, are you ready to do the set up the lights? Because I know she had been cleaning. I was doing Eli's book. I finished, and she was, yeah, set up the lights because I think, I don't know, you're in the room or something. So then I was thinking of what to talk about, and it all started a few days ago when Joseph's daughter,
Selena.
she doesn't want to be Selena, right?
No, Selena.
She corrects you, right?
Yeah, she corrects us. It's Selena.
Yeah, so every Wednesday she shows up in a martial arts gi, and so the other day I was like, hey, the karate girl, instead of the karate kid, and she looks and she goes, what's it called? Yeah, I forgot.
Taekwondo.
Yeah, she goes, it's not karate, it's taekwondo. Oh, sorry, right?
And she puts a little serious face, guys.
Yeah, like I saw her little hand go like this, like she's about to chop me. And and I was telling Sharon, I said, listen, this is what I want to talk about. I know I have a weird way of thinking, and I just walked her through this. It started with the little girl in her martial arts. Her corrected me.
And that's what inspired today's
Yeah.
devotional, guys. But before he goes into it, I do want to remind those of you that are local that are in the choir, we have practice at 11 o'clock on Saturday. All right, that's it.
Okay. So then I got to thinking today, and I don't know why her little suit popped in my head again, and then it made me think of Bruce Lee. That's why I started off with the karate chop at the beginning of the video. And
Saying we.
yeah, I don't know why I did that, but it made me think of the movie The Dragon. I don't know how true it is. You know, sometimes they change things in movies or not. I don't know. You know, but basically, as you guys know, Bruce Lee grew up over here in the Bay Area. You know, and he actually had his wife, and you know, in San Francisco and Oakland, and actually in Oakland. I know he was in Seattle for a bit, but mostly here in the Bay Area. Anyways, in the movie, he is told to not teach the art of martial arts to non-Chinese, and he was teaching black guys, white guys, and they got angry at him like this little underground society, and he refused. And they challenged him to a fight, and in the movie, he went to San Francisco, beat the guy, but as he was walking away, the guy kicked him in the back and almost paralyzed him.
Yeah.
So in the movie, he's in the hospital. He yells at his wife. He says, "I can't do nothing for you. I'm just here. Just leave. Just go away." And he just, you know, pity party like this
little violin,
smallest violin in the world, just playing just for him. And he's stuck on this thing, strapped to the bed that goes, puts him upside down. And anyways, you know, wives don't go away sometimes when you tell them to go away. And she shows up anyways the next day. And when he's facing downward, she slides under him, looking up at him, and he's all mad. "What are you doing here?" You know, and she goes, "All you do is complain about all these martial arts styles, that they're too rigid, that they're too this or too that." This brings the martial arts, because the little girl wears the martial arts. She goes, "All you do is complain." He goes, "Well, I can't do nothing. I'm just laying here." She goes, "Exactly." She brings out a pen and a pad. She goes, "You're going to write your book. And you're going to tell me what to write, and I'm going to write it. This is what we're going to do." And this is when Bruce Lee created an entirely new martial arts style that he took from each and every one of them, the best out of every one of them, kept the worst parts out, and created Jeet Kune Do. Bruce Lee created a martial arts. And he said that he took out that which was not fluid. He said karate and all these, they're too blocky. They're too, what's the word I said? Too stiff.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if you watch Bruce Lee say against a karate person has these stances. They're very stiff, and Bruce Lee's kind of just like moving, you know, because he's like, you got to be like water. And that brings me to the verse.
All right.
The verse is the Gospel of John.
Let's go to John.
Chapter 15.
Sorry. I thought I was on my phone.
Oh.
That's a big phone.
So John chapter 15. And I'm going to read actually 1 through 8. It's a long portion, but it's a very important portion.
John 15?
Yeah.
Okay, John 15?
Yeah, 1 through 8. And then I'm going to talk about where that led my thought. Okay, so in the words of Jesus, 1 through 8, Jesus says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you, as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself. Unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him bears much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is cast out as a branch and is withered, and they gather them and throw them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire, and it shall be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so you will be my disciples. What? Oh, the whole box?
Yes.
Oh.
Ask him to hand me the tissue, guys. He hands me one tissue. Okay. I am the real vine, and my Father is the farmer. He cuts off every branch of me that doesn't bear grapes, and every branch that is grape bearing, he prunes back so it will bear even more. You are already pruned back by the message I have spoken. Live in me, make your home in me, just as I do in you. In the same way that a branch can't bear grapes by itself, but only by being joined to the vine, you can't bear fruit unless you are joined with me. I am the vine, you are the branches. When you're joined with me and I with you, the relation intimate and organic, the harvest is sure to be abundant. Separated, you can't produce a thing. Anyone who separates from me is dead wood, gathered up and thrown on the bonfire. But if you make yourselves at home with me and my words are at home in you, you can be sure that whatever you ask will be listened to and acted upon. This is how my Father shows who he is. When you produce grapes, when you mature as my disciples.
Good stuff, guys.
I have blown my nose. I'm sorry.
All right, we are taking a blow nose.
Pause.
Nose blowing pause. And we are back.
He's laughing at my red nose, you guys.
So, the reason I say this is Jesus is talking about, listen, I love the fact that Jesus makes it easy and simple. Not easy, simple. He's like, you're the branches and I'm the vine. As long as you stay attached to me, the nourishment is going to continue to flow, the lifeline. And it's true, because if you cut a branch from its tree, within 2 days, it'll be withered.
Yeah. It loses its nourishment.
Yeah, the leaves turn brown. The leaves get all water evaporates. The leaves get crackly and they just crack.
Yeah.
And it's like, in the same way, I love the fact that Jesus is saying, listen, you don't have to overcomplicate this thing. You don't have to concentrate on the fruit. You don't have to. Just abide in me. Stay attached to me, and it'll just flow through. Because these last few days since I turned my book in and uploaded it and put it on Amazon, like, I was just still thinking, to be honest with you, like, why did it take me 8 years? I've been teaching this for 8 years. Why? And I just been talking to the Lord, and it wasn't ready. It wouldn't have been the same had it been done 8 years ago. There's kinks that had to be taken out. There was rigid things that had to be taken out. Like the way Bruce Lee was, man, there's things in these different styles. Because, guys, maybe you haven't read the book yet, but I talk about deliverance and demons and angels and healing, miracles, manifestation of the power of God. So, because as you guys know, a lot of people have those ministries individually. People have deliverance, people have healing, people have, prophetic and all these things. And I guess, in a way, I see a lot of rigidness in each of them. Yeah. I see a lot of rigidness, and God bless them. God bless them, because in the same way, Bruce Lee, like, he didn't create a Marshall Jeet Kune Do out of nothing. He took the best out of everything. Yeah. So and so he can't disrespect them, because he could have never did what he did. But actually, I don't believe I'm writing something new. I'm actually writing something old, because it's going back to where Jesus is saying, just let this flow through you. Yeah. Just let me flow through you, the way an umbilical cord nourishes a baby that's growing, and the blood goes back and forth, and oxygen goes back and forth from a mother to a child. In the same way, a branch is nourished by the vine. And sometimes we have made Christianity so complicated, and healing so complicated, and the Spirit of God complicated, and casting demons out complicated, and it's time to go back to the time of Jesus when he says, guys, just be a branch.
Just let it happen organically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like we want to plant the seed, and we want to tell the seed how to grow.
Yeah.
It's like go plant a seed. Like, really, go plant a seed. And, tell me if you can tell that seed, if you can tell it how to grow. Let me know how that goes. Because if you can tell it how to grow, and tell it that you want it to bear this many fruit, and you want to tell it specifically how many branches you want it to have, or how many fruit you want it to bear, and how you want it to bear the fruit, and how many seeds you want it to produce, and all of that, then,
yeah, it ain't going to work.
It's not going to work, guys, because it's not the way it works. It's going to happen organically.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, we were talking to, for instance, yesterday, the evangelist that came and his wife started talking to them about identity a little bit, and they ordered 2 books.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they ordered 2 books. He messaged me. Even the other day, who was it that we were talking about? When I started just sharing little bits. Oh, the Dave and Deanna.
Yes,
remember?
In Yarrington.
And I just started sharing because I love his heart, and he goes, I just believe that someday I'm going to see healings.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, man.
Yes.
That day's today. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just started sharing with him some stuff that's in the book. It's so fresh in my mind now. It's more clear now than it's ever been in the 8 years that I've taught it, because I finally poured it out in this book. So, like, you already knew, huh? It just starts pouring out, guys. And man, it broke my heart when he's like, man, I know someday I'm going to see, healing. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Praise God. We don't have to wait for that day, guys. That day could be now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
how? Not by buying my book, but by listening to what Jesus said. He says, hey, he goes, what does he say? He goes, I'm the vine and you're the branches. He goes, without me, you can do nothing.
Yes.
You can do nothing. And then I like what he says here, where it says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you will ask what you desire, and it shall be done for you. So when that Spirit of God is flowing and you are attached to Jesus and he's the vine, that means you're not going to ask things out of pocket. You're going to ask those things which are in his will. And his will is going to be yes if it's for salvation. His will is going to be yes, So he says, you ask it, and if you abide in me, I'm going to give you what it is that you ask. That is not a smash and grab. That is not a what's that gospel that people call about riches? And I'm not talking about that. Yeah, I'm not talking about prosperity. Jesus is not saying, well, if you abide in me, then I'll give you anything you desire in this world. That is not, Jesus is not a genie. Don't you ever dare make Jesus a genie. He's God. He is God and he's sovereign. There's bigger things that are beyond this world that he wants. The Bible says that he wills all to be saved.
Yeah.
He wills that his glory be manifested here on earth. And so I love the fact that Jesus makes it simple. The things Jesus taught, he purposely made it simple.
Yeah.
He didn't make it, because if he would have made it complicated, it would have only been for the intellectuals. And that would leave a lot of us out, because we're not intellectuals, most of us. We're just simple people. We're husbands and wives and fathers and grandparents, and we're simple people. I dropped out of high school, We're simple people. And I thank God that Jesus says, you know what? I'm going to say things that's going to speak to the smartest and to the not educated.
Yeah.
To even a child can understand. I didn't tell you that Bella told Leanna, our granddaughter told my daughter that she wants to be baptized.
That is beautiful.
She wants Jesus in her heart. An 8-year-old, guys.
Yeah.
Why? Because Jesus makes it simple for it. Matter of fact, he says, unless you're like a child.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been coming to the church, guys. She's going to be in the choir, and she's been coming. And
she said she made a friend.
Yeah, she made a friend, and she's been learning piano because she's going to be playing for the church one day, and she's excited about it. And I praise God for that, and we're excited to we're like, we're going to pick her up. I can't wait. We're going to be picking her up. And, I speak that into existence, and I already told her mom, we'll be glad to pick her up on Sundays. If you can't bring her, we will go pick her up, Yeah. I remember there was a day that your mom used to always have the girls with her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like we're the grandparents now that are going to be.
We are the grandparents.
We're the grandparents now that are going to be carrying around with the grandchildren, and that's okay with me. I'm blessed.
The reason we know about the gospel now is because of generations past.
Yeah.
And they pass it.
Yeah.
And as much as the enemy tries to stamp out the gospel, the more God will raise people up.
Yes, it's beautiful.
And the Lord makes it so simple, guys. That's why, when Sharon and I know we joked around when we were in Reno, and I did a quick video where we found a white horse. Oh, you guys saw it.
Beautiful.
And I said jokingly, but it was serious. I said, yeah, some people come to Reno for the casinos, and we come looking for the wild horses. Babe, every time we go to the mountains, guys, and it's always going to come out of my mouth or hers. We're like, look at that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you'll see a beautiful view, and I'm like, wow, look at how God created that.
Every time.
That's automatically, you think of the wonders of God. You guys know I love to paint. I love painting landscapes, and I'm just like, he's the greatest artist to ever exist. Yeah. I could never paint that. God is not like, well, I'm going to go to Michael's and I'll do this color. He's just like, magenta, and he speaks it into existence, and yellow and orange and reds and blues and greens. And here's the thing. If you really look at trees, go through the mountains. Every tree is a slightly different shade of green.
Yeah. Guys, you're talking to two people who, we'll probably never travel the world. And you know what? That's okay, but we get to travel his beautiful mountains and his beautiful plains, and we get to travel the Sierras and these, we get into the car and we go down, the other side of California, and we go up the mountains, and
I'm happy to just go to the mountains.
We're excited to do that when we go towards Arizona or Nevada or whatever, and we get into the car, and I get excited just when I drive with my husband, and we just go, and he'll be like, babe, let's go here, and I'll be like, all right, let's go. But that's enough. We were 5 minutes away from Virginia City in this windy road. Beautiful, right? Because it would be shade, and then there's sun beaming through. And we're just like, whoa. The things we're just like, oh my God, Lord, that is so beautiful. We just get so ecstatic.
And then we start thanking God.
Yeah, we do. We're just like, Lord, oh my God, we pull over and we just get so excited at the creation of God's creation. We're just like, Lord, that is so beautiful. And we just take it in. We breathe and just take it in.
Or it'll be like this huge rock and it's red.
And I'm like, look at Jesus. Jesus actually, I tell him all the time, you know what I think Jesus did? Jesus is up there and he gets a chisel and he just goes and he chisels and he's just like, let me just go ahead and chisel this little mountain.
The Bible says that the world was created by him and for him. And it's like, and as we're driving through this beautiful...
I have chills right now. I'm not kidding.
Are they multiplying?
And I'm losing control.
As we're driving through.
Seriously, look, I got chills, you guys.
We're driving through to see Virginia City, which maybe to some people they don't care, but to me it's like, man, it's a western town. It's cool. That's awesome. And I think I looked over at you, sort of, because I was winding. I didn't want to wreck. And I'm just like, man, this ain't Paris, babe. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I can't take you to Paris. I can't. You know, and she's like, why do I want to go see a man-made thing when I can see the wonders of God?
Yes, that's what I told him.
The creation that God made, you know?
I don't need to see anything man-made. I don't care for anything man-made. This is what I love. I love God's nature. This is all I care about.
And then coming back, we came back since we ended in Reno, coming back through Truckee, and you just see all these mountains with snow, and it's like, man, Lord, I mean, it's hard to do a landscape, but Lord did it in 3D.
I know.
You know, and I'm just like, Lord, how did you do this? How did you think of the little ant and the bear? Like, what? How did you think of the little tiny plankton that the whales eat, and then the whales? You know, it just, and then different levels of sea with different, you know, even all the way the ones in the deep, deep dark, and they glow. You know, I'm just like blown away by the Lord. He is, like, I know He's the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, but He's the artist of artists.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know when you get to that point, where you can just appreciate and see all of that is when you just stay attached to the vine. Everything, you begin to appreciate everything. You begin to just see it all when you just stay attached to the vine, guys.
You know, this isn't what this video is leading to, but those of you that have not yet spoken in your heavenly language, maybe you're overcomplicating it. You know, there is a language, because obviously we see in chapter 1 of Genesis, the Lord says, let there be light. So He spoke something. And that something was not a language of this earth, because the earth was of no form, was void, right? So that means there wasn't Hebrew, there wasn't Greek, there wasn't Aramaic, there wasn't English, Spanish, French, nothing. But there's a language, right? So you know there's a language that God speaks that is out of this world. Okay. Now imagine, here's what, this might help you if you have never spoken in your heavenly language. And I know it's hard because this brain is like a dam. You ever been to a dam where it holds all the water and doesn't let water flow? This brain, unfortunately, becomes a dam for the flow of the Spirit, because the Bible says, Jesus says, to be attached to the vine. And why? Because there's nourishment passing from the vine. There's nourishment, there's water, there's nourishment to feed it from the roots all the way up the vine to the branches to the fruit. Okay. What would happen, guys, if you were somehow born and on an island? An island with no people. No mom, no dad, no nothing. Let's just say somehow you survived as a baby and you grew up with no language. And you grew up and you saw the beauty, but you knew there was a God. You saw the ocean and the beaches, and I mean, you saw, and how would you worship this God? If there was no English, no language, or nothing, what would come out of you? What expression? What if you took the dam out of the way and allowed that Spirit, your Spirit to describe to God His beauties of His creation? I would stutter with my gums,
with whatever I could.
His creation. What would that sound like? Because there is a language. There is a language deep in your spirit, way deep down in there, that has not been allowed to speak. Because your flesh has been speaking the whole time. Your mind has been speaking the whole time. That's why Paul says, he goes, I will speak with the language and I'll speak in a tongue. So he goes, the things I can understand intellectually, if I say, okay, Lord, my car's broken, I need to pray for my car to be fixed, I know what to pray because I understand the situation, but sometimes there's things deep in us that we don't know what we ought to pray. And the Spirit gives utterance, and for me, I know there's a language that is spoken in heaven that sounds like nothing that we speak. Because why? Because he says, let there be light before any people were here. So that there's a language. Yeah. And I guess it does tie into this. It does tie into this because, again, we need to not overcomplicate it and just know that you are attached to that vine and you are the branch and you allow that to flow. Out of the heart will flow rivers of living water. Yes. Jesus says, speaking of the Holy Spirit. And it's interesting because even in Revelation, it says out of the throne room was a fountain. Out of the throne. So I believe that out of the throne, there's a fountain. And because he lives in us, that fountain comes out of us. And eventually, where there's a spring of water, it's got to come out, guys. Spring up a well. Yeah. We can't overcomplicate this stuff, guys. So anyways, I hope
that was beautiful.
This spoke to you. I hope it stirred something in you. How would you communicate to God if you didn't know the language that you speak? Really think about that. Really think about that.
Yeah. When you go into your, I don't know if you go into your prayer closet in the morning or if you, turn on your music in the morning or, in the afternoon or wherever. But, just sit there and listen to your worship music and just, go into have that moment with the Lord and just tell him, just allow yourself to go into that quiet place and just begin to worship him and just allow that rivers that fountain just to come from your belly and just begin to worship. Just begin to let that heavenly language just come forth and just say, Lord, just let it come forth and just begin to see what happens.
I have another example. This is quicker.
Yeah.
Another example. I'm going to prove to you guys that the mind gets in the way. Have you ever spoken in public and all of a sudden you start stuttering, you get nervous, you get sweaty, your mouth gets dry? That happens, right? I know a lot of the women that speak sometimes, a lot of the guys, I forgot for what, Father's Day or something, Mother's Day, they start stuttering. You know why? You know why that happens? It's not that they don't know how to speak English. It's that they're thinking too much of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And when they think too much of what you're saying, it makes you stutter. It makes you nervous.
The mind gets in the way.
The mind gets in the way. Yeah. That's why I could put somebody at the church in front of 80 people and they are stuttering, messing up, but then I get them to the side at a taco truck and they're like, oh yeah, laughing about this and that, talking about this, and oh yeah, I went over there yesterday and then this thing was broken. I'm like, man, how come you didn't talk like that in front of everybody? That's all you got to do. And they're like, no, it's too hard.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you're overthinking it.
Yeah. The mind gets in the way.
Yeah. Do you know why? And then people tell me, I know Raina's told me, she goes, you make it look so easy.
Yeah.
When I preach. You know why? Because I've been doing it so long that now I don't overthink sitting in front of a bunch of people and 300 people watching online. I just allow it to flow because it's a language I know. I know English. And because I know English, I don't let my mind get in the way. That's why I don't like writing a lot of notes for my sermon, and I just let it flow. Because if I write a lot of notes on my sermon, you know what that is? It's a reminder that I'm speaking in front of people. And I think tongues is the same way. You have that language already in you, but you're overthinking it. You think you're in an audience of a whole bunch of people. Honestly, I think that's why a lot of people have not spoken in their heavenly language for that simple reason, in the same way people can't publicly speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Guys, when we try to do an announcement on video, we mess up. Remember that time?
Yeah.
If I literally want to do an announcement right now about who knows what, but I want to do it very, very properly, I guarantee you I'm gonna mess up and stutter.
If we try to write it and we try to read it, it will not come out, guys. Trust me, it will not come out. It has to just come out naturally. We have tried that so many times and it just will not. It will not work for us.
You know, Anthony, who does some of the intros at service, the first day he's like, I don't know what to talk about, and we had a piece of paper. I'm like, well, here's things. Let's tape it to the tripod.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I didn't want him to use that.
Yeah.
Because he would be like, okay, hey guys, there's a website, www.houseofrestchurch.com, and that's okay. That was a training wheel for him. But once that first week, that was the only time he needed the paper. After that, I was like, man, just let it flow.
Yeah.
Just let it flow.
It's the best thing. It's really, really the best thing to do.
And allowing your spirit to speak with the Spirit of God is the same exact thing.
There's been so many times where I have taken the time to write a whole bunch of notes down, and trust me, not even one thing from the notes I've ever spoken about, and I end up speaking about something completely different. I speak from my heart because I get so nervous that I don't speak about what's written on the notes, because I lose my frame of thought, and I'm just like, you know what, forget it. It just doesn't work, guys. Sometimes it's better to speak from your heart and just to let it flow. I think it becomes more natural and it's more organic. That's why I say that you can't tell a seed how to grow. It just grows. Yeah. It just happens. You just got to let it flow. Just let it be.
And I think that's why I think my book is the best I've ever done in teaching identity, because there was no camera.
Yeah.
There was no live, because even though I think it went well, I'm still conscious that I'm live. I'm still conscious that the pressure's on. I'm still conscious. So when I wrote the book, I allowed it to just flow because nobody was here, not even you. Usually you were still in the room, and I would get up real early and I'd be on the computer by myself with a real quiet house, and I just allowed it to flow. So that's why I think even the book is the best identity teaching I've ever done.
Yeah, that's good.
Which you haven't even read all of it yet.
No.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I wanted to. That's why I didn't want to bother you or anything. I just wanted to. I want to wait. I want to wait.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start the Audible in a couple days.
Yeah. I just wanted to wait because I just didn't want to bother. I wanted to wait till you were done completely and just wait.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
So, all right, guys.
Well, guys, we love you guys. Have a great, great day. Enjoy your coffee, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.